It doesn't say you're live. Oh, there it is. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Another live trading stream. We got some news for you. There was an Israel attack a few days ago. They're talking about retribution. I am Lebanese. I was born in Lebanon, so maybe I can break down some perspective here on what happened and kind of how things escalate from here. There's some new information that came out about the Trump shooting, saying that the Secret Service number one did not have the Secret Service snipers did not have a briefing with the Pennsylvania sniper team. And before any event and rally, there's supposed to be a briefing where they all get together, run through the game plan, and talk it through. And this is the one time it didn't happen. There's also text messages that have been released that show that the Secret Service knew about the shooter up to 90 minutes before the attack and still let Trump talk on stage. And so there's a few questions that need to get answered. The FBI Director Wray has I mean, he got subpoenaed and he was in front of Congress. Congress goes out of session, I think, in a week. I think it might be this week. And so whatever they don't get done in the next week is going to be left until after the break. These guys are going like summer break. Okay, so we need answers. Secret Service Director Cheadle has resigned after tons of pressure from both sides of the aisle for negligence and for, just sort of incompetence. Kamala Harris has accepted the endorsement of Obama, which has been huge. There was a huge split in the Democratic Party in terms of delegates. It was the Clinton sort of camp, and then it was the Obama camp, really backing the progressives versus kind of the traditional Democrat wing. And that split started to get bigger, but seems like everybody's put their hat behind Kamala Harris, and seems like that's where it's going. We still don't know who the vice president is. There was no voting process for the primaries. And so if you're a Democrat, they basically just handed you, they said, okay, this is what you're going to accept. Take it or leave it. Oh, no, take it or take it. And everyone's just going to take it. So let's see how that works out. All right. Uh, da, da, da. Just to talk through markets, NASDAQ, we're still in a bearish retracement cycle. And so I'm expecting after today's moves, so we're going to have a sell off. I'm going to take a buy here post market open here in about an hour. And then we could probably expect a continuation of these sells, whether it's from the top of this range or we might have a quick liquidity grab through the range. So either way, shorts are in play right now, and then we can take a potential buy position. I'm going to paper trade this for fun, just because I think this trade is just so straightforward. But you guys know me, if you've been on these streams before, I typically do not short, okay, especially indices. So I'm going to wait for this higher time frame zone right here, get the bounce, get a quick wick rejection, ideally a 2-to-1, maybe a 1.5-to-1, close the full trade and call it a day, or protect the trade, one or the other. Difference between getting that prime entry and then where price is right now is, let's see, 1.8-to-1 versus 1.1. All right, like that's the difference between getting a late entry versus getting in right at the zone. And so if you're still hesitating, do enough back testing to where you trust the strategy, to where you've seen it so many times that you're not going to hesitate when it gets to the zone. And you can, like when price hits that zone, I'm not thinking, is it going to reject or not? Because the truth is, you'll never know. What I'm thinking is, if I wait another second, I'm going to get a worse R&R. So when you guys see me enter some of those, what I would call impulsive trades, it's not because I know where I think the market's going to reject. I don't. But I know that if I don't get in right now, I'm just going to have to accept the shitty entry. But just because it's paper trade, we'll put this entry here. If it pushes back up to that zone one more time before market open, I'll enter another one. I would not do this on a live account. So just a reminder for everyone, this is a paper trade. But I wouldn't do this on a live account, number one, because we're 12 minutes away from market open. Market open volatility is going to come in. And two, I'm typically not a short seller. Right now, if we enter a prolonged retracement cycle, like a big pullback on the higher time frames, and this thing sustains, then yeah, uh, I'll sell. I'm not stubborn. But I don't think a 2% drop in the market is enough to be like, oh, this is it. This is the crash. All assets are going to go down. I don't think we have enough yet to make that assessment. The sun ain't gonna come up tomorrow, gang. It's the end of the world. Did I just see Roy taking shorts? Yo, I love this shit. Everybody knows. He said, is the sun not going to come up tomorrow? I don't know, man. Okay, there's that Euro USD retracement. That's not even a retracement. This actually might be a continuation of the overall trend. So just pay attention, especially with currencies. Everything follows this range model that we teach. It's okay. And then here's your break right there. So when you go break to high, this should be the 78.6. And yeah, it is. But you can't even make this up, man. Look at this. Here's your break. Here's your new range. Retest, beautiful rejection of the 7.8. And then on Euro USD, I typically use the 61 and the 23. The 23 would be sitting right here, if I'm not mistaken. I can eyeball a fib from outer space. Hold on. Ah, I was off. But I think we can see another push back down to the 78 fib for this beautiful double bottom to the bottom of the range. And I think we can find a beautiful push to the upside. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that in every range, there are micro ranges. So over here, we have this micro range, right? So we could either reject the bottom, okay, and then just keep ranging here, or ideally we break those lows, hit, 1.046, and then we can start buying from there. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's take a paper trade on this for fun. Well, how many units is this, bro? Am I dyslexic? How many zeros is that? Damn, bro. Should have looking like George Soros's bank account. All right, let's go ahead and enter that order. Um, where's my super secret fib level? What just happened? Where's my fib? Okay. 300 and okay, I might have put the wrong units. All right. All right, we'll get back to this. Gold respected that magnet zone super secret magnet indicator, not only a good target, but also a good re-entry indicator. Beautiful rejection here. We're back up at the 61, just like we talked about yesterday. And we have this beautiful inverted head and shoulder starting to form. All right, so I think that we could push to the top of this area right here. And then if it wants to drop, I think we could drop from this double top here. But I think that gold has more upside. I think that gold has more upside, at least for today in the shorter time frames. Funny enough, I went on the 5-minute chart, looked at Bitcoin's price when Trump was speaking. Do you guys know it bottomed out or it topped out at 69,420? Like when it spiked up when Trump was speaking, it popped up to 69,420. Where is it? I think the Trump speech was here. It was right there. 69,420. That's insane. So we're topped out. And then it bottomed out at like 6666666, which is sus. All right. So I'm just throwing that out there. Neither of those make me comfortable. 69,420 was funny. And then I saw the other one. All right. Shayar says free Palestine. For real, bro, stop the violence. Feel me? Stop the violence. All right, so let's talk about some wait, we'll pull up the NASDAQ chart first, make sure the alerts are set. Okay, beautiful. Alerts below that zone. Set. Alerts near entry. Set. Okay. Let's talk about some foreign affairs before we get to the Bank of Japan. Yesterday, we talked a lot about Bank of Japan and the Fed. So if you guys want to get a bit more insight on the Fed meeting predictions, check out the Sunday market outlook stream from yesterday. But just to kind of go around the world and talk about the two major conflicts that have been kind of take basically on the front page for the last 2 years. We have the Ukraine-Russia conflict, which has now sort of reached the ends. Zelensky is urging the West to give him more aid. NATO had sent NATO weapons to the border, and then I think they ended up getting a little bit more common sense and realizing that if if we continue to give NATO weapons to Ukraine, not just to defend their border, but to start sending rockets across the border, that's a proxy war with us and Russia directly. Okay. There are articles in the NATO agreement that says if you attack one NATO country, the rest of them have to jump in. That's why um, that's why Ukraine wanted to enter NATO, and that's why Russia did not want Ukraine to enter NATO. They're the bordering country. You don't want the ops on your border. They said don't pull up, or we're gonna have beef. They pulled up. Now they have beef, and Ukraine has basically depleted their entire population, all for this massive game of trying to, these few war hawks and neoconservatives trying to deplete Russia's resources somehow. Okay. Now, here's exactly what happened. Here's why they backfired, and these guys are fucking moronic. Because the first thing that happened after the war spiked was the price of oil went up. Now, I think over 20% of Russia's GDP is dependent on oil. So when oil price spikes by 20% or 30%, they just got 30% richer in that sector, which is the largest sector. So the more the war went on, the more that we were funding Russia's arsenal. And so while we were trying to deplete their resources, we were actually depleting ours. And then we actually made them richer by boosting the price of oil. Now, you guys know who else benefited from the price of oil going up? What country in the Middle East has a lot of oil and is also funding a lot of proxy wars? Iran, right? So it's like, okay, let's beef with Iran. And then all of a sudden the price of oil spikes, and now they're selling on the black market for the high. And now they're getting rich, and now they're funding the Houthis in the Red Sea. Now they're who haven't been active in God knows how. Now they're funding Hamas. Now they're funding Hezbollah, right? They got money. So these things have adverse reactions. That's why Trump is such a genius, because if you can avoid physical confrontation, the loss of lives on both sides, but you know exactly the economic impact of what you're doing, that is how you squeeze a competitor nation into not doing an atrocity. When Erdogan in Turkey was trying to bomb the Kurds on their way out, and Trump threatened them and said, if you bomb them on their way out, I'm going to crash the lira faster than you can blink. A couple of the, I don't even think it was like a thing that Turkey had told the army to do. It was a couple, militants in the army. They had sent over some rockets while they were retreating. Trump crashed the lira, I think, off a tweet while he was in the bathroom. Right? When you crash a currency that quick, you take all the oxygen out the room. And now they're just suffocating like a fish out of water. And it took about 15 minutes for an apology letter for the fucking, like they created I'm pretty sure they created a defensive perimeter around the soldiers retreating just so they could get out safely. That's how bad it got. So I am a big fan of that kind of warfare because it's out in the open. It's very straightforward and it's very deliberate. Not this sort of like, okay, let's hack servers, let's do media propaganda campaigns and kind of disseminate them in the country to kind of do election change, all that shady bullshit, man, all that kind of CIA, that's not for me. It's too shady. Just look me in my face and say, if you say that again, I'm gonna knock your teeth out. All right. Now, I'm not gonna like that, but at least I'm gonna respect you. Okay. I might even listen. Might be like, you know what, you got this one, but it's a Tuesday. I don't care enough for this. Anyways, so that conflict is in escalation. So, anyways, we funded their wars. They're in a great condition. Oh, to add on top of that oil point, all of the EU is dependent on Russia for oil. So how the fuck are you gonna go to war with somebody, and then now you're paying them, and they're the source of your oil? There, okay, there was supposed to be this cold winter that happened in Europe where because Russia was kind of using oil as hostage, they didn't have enough energy to basically stay warm. And luckily, they didn't have a cold winter like they were predicting. But that could have been fucking bad. They would have had to go, Germany would have had to go back and beg Russia for oil in the middle of trying to kill them. They're like, hey, I know I killed a bunch of your sons and daughters, but can we get some oil, bro? Yeah. Imagine how that conversation went. Zelensky says we need to find a expeditious end to this war and limit the loss of life. Yeah, where were you a year and a half ago when you had a ceasefire on the table and you let Boris Johnson of all people talk you out of it? Where was that? By the way, members, just as a side note, here's the Asia lows. If this thing does a Model 1, then it's gonna fly from here. Okay, just as a heads up. So keep that in mind. There is a gap here that may get filled on the way down. So I'm still banking on that one. But if that Model 1 entry is right there, you know what I'm saying? Then it's just going to reject up and fill this wick to the upside. Market open. We're 2 minutes past market open. Shorts are temporary. I'm looking for the market to make it back down to the bottom of this, say a weekly, or let's call it an hourly range. But this area right here is a higher time frame support on the daily. So there's a high probability zone for reactions. So I'm looking for a retracement to the downside. I'm paper trading this because you guys know me. I don't short the indices. I know better than that. I've learned my lessons. But I'm paper trading it just kind of for fun. And then I will go long on my live account down here at 18, let's call it 18,940. And the entries are probably going to be just below the zone. So let's just, for simplicity, call it 18,900. Okay, because if we get accurate, it was actually down here, if I'm not mistaken. This actually has to be a little bit lower, below the wick. Okay, good stuff. So yeah, there was a ceasefire on the table about a year and a half ago where Russia and the Ukraine had gone to a third party country and we're going to negotiate some parts of the Donbass region going to Russia and kind of the specifics of how the ceasefire were going to go. And the G7 sent Boris Johnson, and I don't know who set this up, but that whole cabal of Boris Johnson, Justin Trudeau, and Emmanuel Macron, about the shadiest characters that you'll ever find in politics. The more you look into the backstories, y'all, it's gonna blow your mind. Emmanuel Macron used to work at the Rothschilds Bank, and like the whole nine was very, very shady. Same, the whole everything is shady, right? William Barr, the head of the Department of Justice, his dad gave Epstein his first job. That was sort of his mentor, and so now like just the way that it's all tangled up just gets shady. Anyways, Boris Johnson goes over. I don't know what he told Zelensky, but convinced him to basically sacrifice all the youth in his country. There are no more young people to fight. They were dragging 50-year-olds off the streets, putting them on the front lines. We had professional boxers. The Klitschko brothers, I'm pretty sure, went back to fight. So I don't know what they are thinking about keeping this war going, but there is zero chance for Ukraine to make it out of this. The longer this goes, there's going to be zero chance for Ukraine to make it out of this without like just having to give up all those regions on the east, having lost all your people. And that's why I feel like the West keeps sending weapons because like we started this, we did this, and leaving them hanging would just make it look bad on the neoconservatives who supported that entire campaign. So, anyways, how does this end? Ideally, it's going to be a ceasefire. It's going to be soon. Trump takes office. I think within a week and a half, all of this gets resolved. And everybody keeps clowning Trump for saying that I have a plan to end the war. I can end it in a day. And they're like, how does he plan on ending the war in a day? I don't know, but probably has a better idea than you, dick. Right? So shut your fucking mouth and let this dude cook. And that's exactly what's going to happen. I have a very, very good feeling about Trump taking office and putting an end to these separate conflicts. Now, here's the reality of the Israel situation, which is very different. Out of all, Trump actually had what I would say the most progress with Middle East Israel relations ever. And no one's ever going to be happy about the US teaming up with Israel and then Saudi Arabia also teaming up with Israel. Nobody in the region is ever just going to accept that and be happy about that. But with that being said, the entire and I'm not going to be a spokesperson for the whole region, but as an Arab myself who was born and raised in Lebanon, the region is very tired of the extremist sort of fundamentalist ideology to the point where it's like, bro, everyone just want to make money. People want to have a better standard of living. And if we just stop the fucking bloodshed every day, which is never going to end, we can cook. All right. So there was a deal that was made between Saudi Arabia and Israel. And you guys want to know what day it was supposed to be signed? October 7th. You guys know what happened on October 7th? Hamas decided to attack Israel that day. Basically make the Arabs or make the Palestinians look bad, make it look like the worst atrocity of all time and kill any chances of that deal because the Middle East will not accept a Saudi-Israel deal after they just killed 30,000 Palestinian children. So that was the sabotage play of a century to basically get in the way of those relations getting normalized. Okay. Everybody beefs less when they're making money. So if you stop the violence, money flows in, everyone's standard of living and quality of life goes up, and people stop beefing so much. And you don't want to get up and kill everything and do it when things are working. All right. It's only when there's a disparity in opportunity and you're being oppressed to the point where you feel like you'll never get out. That's when you respond with violence. Okay. Do you think Nas will dip when Powell tone is less cuts the market anticipated? Thabo, Thabo, Thabo. Ah, something I would have read on Baby Pips. It's like, no, it's like, no. All right, this is just what I explained, which is the majority of retail is they basically look at moves in terms of, okay, Powell said something bad, market go down. When in reality, it's like the market's probably going to drop today or tomorrow. And if it doesn't, if it climbs today, tomorrow, then we probably have a drop on Wednesday. All right, so whatever the news is, the market will probably do the opposite, but it's going to set up for the first few days because at the end of the day, like if the market's going to buy up aggressively, they don't want to do it from these prices either, right? And so what they do is early in the week start to sell off, and then retail really does the rest of the work for you. So all the margin selling just starts to drive the market lower and lower and lower and lower, and then as an institution, you can pick it up at a very low price. When the rest of retail is just like dumping sell orders on Wednesday, and there's all this liquidity sitting in the market, now you have enough money on the other side of your trades to execute. All right, so we're having this push back up. It's about 9 minutes post-market open. People, trust the 886. All right. And I'm paper trading this, so I'm going to have to say this about 50 more times just for everybody watching. They'll be like, oh, who's paper trading? Yes, very observant. But what I will tell you is if I was live trading, I'd put a 25 right here. This is where I'd have the 50 right there. And I would improve my average cost of my average entry price. Okay. So if you imagine you had like you're going to throw 100 lots total or 100 contracts total, then you'd put a quarter and then half. And then if it comes down and retest, I'll put another quarter. All right. So this is going to take a while for the market to make it down this range, if we even make it down to the bottom of the range. But I'm keeping my hopes up. Keeping my hopes up. Bro, can the 78 leave me alone, bro? Mike. Go get some coffee, buddy, and stop sleeping on your boy. All right. Get some Folgers, right? Told you trust the system. Oh, super secret magnet. What? Bro. All right. I can't celebrate too soon. The rejections matter, second entries, and how really the execution and the trade management and kind of being a little flexible, knowing where to enter. And like you can't just put like one lot in one lot. You got to do it that way because that little rejection, if someone had entered a second order, that just that rejection alone would have put you in profits. So you would have been able to close half of one and the whole the other one that's in drawdown, and now just have one contract sitting at the top with a great risk to reward, and you know maneuvered in and out the trade. But still too soon to celebrate. This thing is looking model one right now. If we just look at the low of Asia right here, oof. Yeah, we just broke TP2 for that model one. It's all good. I'm hopeful. This wick rejection on the 1 hour really is the biggest tell for the drop. This wick rejection here, closing below the zone. So give it a second, man. Patience pays. Juan said they're playing with us. We're in a simulation. Damn, what were we talking about? 9:25? That was before we even went live, right? Yeah, we about 15 topics past that, brother. What are y'all doing on YouTube, bro? Is everyone asleep? Well, drop some likes or something, bro. Drop a comment or something. Are you people awake? You're at work? Are you getting paid for this? You guys getting paid to be asleep at work right now? Wake the f wait. I said I wasn't gonna curse. Yo, y'all gotta check me, man. I really gotta stop cursing so YouTube can pump this thing. Right? I can still crack jokes. I gotta stay away from certain topics, right? Biden, great president. Kamala Harris, incredible track record. COVID, best vaccine ever. My top three, honestly. I'd put it in my top five. If this was my space, I'd put the COVID vax up there, right? Top three. Best friends. What else? Russia bad, Ukraine good. What else I gotta say? Give me another talking point. One more. Everyone's still recovering from the weekend. Recovering from what, bro? You are not rich enough to be recovering from nothing, bro. Wake the fuck up. All right. Yeah, there goes. 15 seconds later, already threw an F bomb. That's what y'all got me doing. So I'm recovering from the weekend. The hell you do from this? That's what the weekend is for. Biden, best president ever. I'm telling you, Mike, love it. Hillary Clinton, incredible. Right? Steele dossier definitely wasn't fake. All right, now I'm in trouble. Oh shit. Calling out the Steele dossier, bro, at 9:43 in the morning. That's how y'all know. That's how y'all know it's a slow market day. If you guys don't know what that is, that was the fake document that was created to basically claim that Trump was colluding with Russia to throw the 2016 election. And they it was like 25 intelligence officers that had put together this fake report, and the whole thing was fake. And then it came out that it was fake. And so that's not election interference, right? The hiding the laptop, the servers, the bleach servers, and the Secret Service and the FBI kind of having a hand in, some of the things there, So I don't know. If that's not election interference, I don't know what is, but Hillary Clinton's the best. That's all I'm gonna say. And I love my life, never kill myself. What I would do though is get on here and provide some entertainment and value. Oh, Rich White said LBGTQR plus a bro. I feel like I'm entering a cheat code into a video game. Hold on. I might just start flying if I say the full phrase. It's almost midnight here in land down under. But you gotta tell me the southern hemisphere is a big place. You gotta stop fucking around with me. Closed the buy this morning from 980. Good. Facts. She paid for it. Okay. Too much tequila, bro. Drink less. God damn it. The fuck are you talking about? You got way too much responsibilities talking about some, I'm hangover, bro. We're not in a fraternity. Wake the fuck up. Drink to your limits, man. We all adults here. Yeah, I just cursed again. That's what y'all got me doing, but I'm gonna stop reading these comments. All right, let's go. Let's get back to the regularly scheduled programming. Okay, model one is ripping through, and we've already filled that wick. So at this point, if this thing doesn't reject the high and come back down, then here's very likely what's going to happen is if we do want to go bullish, it's going to break the highs, come back to our zone, to our entry price for a retracement. So you'll have an opportunity here to close and break even on the pullback. But then it'll end up just launching from here. So ideally, we get that push down. I trust my strategy. Okay, you just got to be patient. And if you guys are interested in learning this strategy, like, waiting for this rejection down so I can hit the I told you so, because it's going to make it's hard to let you guys know about the masterclass sitting in drawdown, right? But just give it a couple, like 20 minutes, wait for it to flip back down. I'll walk you guys through what the class is all about and how to catch trades like this. Now, obviously, no system is perfect. And even with a perfect system, you still have to be a responsible trader. And so those are the main elements. But hopefully, we get some market action in the next 15 minutes and I can walk you guys through that. I do have a meeting at 10. So I mean, I'm going to have to hop off here pretty soon. I'm not even going to make a joke about that. The opening ceremony of the Olympics was an absolute disaster. France should be ashamed of itself. The Christians in France need to grow some balls, go grab some signs, and go step outside that bitch. Because only 3,000 Christians with a sign that says, "Nah, don't do that," and they would, they'd make a statement. They do the whole nine. So, that was a mockery, and whoever thought that was a good idea needs to be investigated for real. Because I'm gonna just let you know right now, definitely some shady things going on with that person. Okay. Anyways, said it's definitely not rigged. Man, the thing is, like, we did this analysis. This is so crazy. We did this analysis about what percentage of the election can actually be rigged. You through mail-in voting, through I don't say voter suppression, but like, let's just say all of those backdoor tactics. We came up with a number that was about 4 to 5% of the total vote, which is it's a pretty big amount. So Trump has to win by such a large margin that regardless of what they try to pull off, uh, it doesn't matter, right? That's why I feel like it's getting ramped up in terms of danger and risk for the president, because very good chance he wins by a landslide and crushes those 4 or 5 point margin. And there really is no, there's no denying it. So that's something that we can look forward to. I told you there's next 4 months are going to be pretty intense. And if we're going to be real, there's always an October surprise every election year, which is typically maybe a switch up of the candidate, maybe a new vice president pick that they just brought on for no reason. So I really hope this thing drops before I have to get off the stream, just so I can. Either way, we'll do this, guys. Use promo code ChartAddicts for 50% off. That code is going to be valid until August 5th. The class is going to be August 26th. Make sure to grab your seats. This is the last time we'll be teaching this strategy live. We may have a recorded course come out after the FX Summit once we have time to settle down. But for now, this is the last time you'll have a chance to get on a Q&A, 4 days, all interactive, and really get the maximum value and to learn a strategy that works, as hopefully we can see here in the next 5 minutes. But there's no rush. Can't tell the market what to do. It says Model 1 went crazy. Yeah, it just broke TP3 quick. It broke TP3 quick, but not convinced. Higher time frame, still at the top of the range, still at 88.6, still have nice rejections here. So until it breaks up, the higher probability move is that rejection down. Post this up just so we have the before and afters. Put this in the private VIP chat. I like these clean charts with no fibs, dude. This is a nice looking chart right here. No confusion. Okay, another reminder, FX Summit 2024. It's going to be in Dubai. Make sure that you guys check out flights and hotels early. Do not be intimidated by what you see online about Dubai. Dubai is no more expensive than Nashville, it's way cheaper than Miami. DC is way more expensive than Dubai. I'll tell you that much. So if you guys are kind of hesitating on the Dubai move because you think it's kind of out of your range or it just might be too much of a commitment, trust me, it is nowhere near as crazy as you think. And once you look it up, you'll be surprised. There's a $700 flight from Miami to Dubai. All right. There's one stop in Turkey. Like, you would be surprised what's out there. If you live somewhere a little bit further out, if you guys are going to that Colombia event and you guys are flying from Colombia, obviously it'll be more expensive. But if you're flying from like from Europe, from Asia, from Africa, or somewhere on the coasts of the states. Very, very, very straightforward. The trip is pretty long, but if you're ever going to go visit Dubai, you want to do it in style. And no way better to do that to go visit that country with the FX Summit team. It says W promo because the masterclass was on the other side. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because the masterclass was on the other side. Bro, I might just give you a free if I could if you didn't if you had a name in your thing, I might have gave you a free seat to the class for that lame ass joke. All right, Chris, Masterclass 2.0 coming soon. It says Gay Olympics. Hold on. Well, I'm not doing all that. What I would say is that if you guys want to look like it's still true to the Olympics, that opening ceremony that was the hurt Olympics, man. That was the trauma Olympics. That was the we're going through it the most Olympics. All right, well, there goes our blue check. Off the back of higher than expected for GDP, do you think that NAS push higher because of growth of the US economy? Thabo, I would say that the US GDP number was not accurate. And well, I mean, it came out exactly as expected, but to be honest, I just don't think it's accurate. They the government is very selective about what they put in the CPI basket and what they put in the GDP calculation, and they change it based on whatever makes them look better. So the real GDP has slowed down because you can look at the amount of credit that people are using for consumer spending versus how much money they have in savings. The savings rate did go up a little bit, but I think that's more of a sign of fear, which is like, okay, I think I see things slowing down, things are getting expensive. Let me save some money to the side. But credit is really what drives most spending in America, and the issuance of credit card debt is actually dropping. So you can see like retailers are not getting the same traction they were about 6 months ago. Now, could there, and there's still a seasonality thing, which is actually, like, let me ask you guys as parents and just as family people, do you guys spend more money in the spring or in the summer with your family? Because the spring, the weather's getting nice, you got kids' sports, you're buying the cleats and all this stuff. There's school supplies still, but now in the summer, now there's summer camps maybe. Now there's like a vacation or two, and like that's where a lot of spending happens. You're traveling. Where are you more likely to spend money? The spring, which is like let's call it Q2, which is going to be April, May, and June, or July, August, like late June, July, August. Said I spend in both. All right, I mean, obviously we do. Okay, but I'm just saying, which one do you spend more? It's called relative. Olympic ceremony looking like the Hunger Games. No, the Hunger Games are like inspiring. Oh my God, all these people are gonna die, and like you have to fight for your life. Ah, da, da, right? Ain't nobody fighting for their life in there, bro. Ain't nobody asking them to do this. Don't nobody need that shit. Don't nobody give a fuck about none of that. Dudes nutsack hanging out. There's kids watching. This is not the Hunger Games. That was the that was the trauma Olympics, man. I'm telling you. Shit was fucked up, bro. Fucked up the whole idea of championship caliber performance. Okay, so the Olympics and the World Cup are these very rare things where there's competition, or sorry, there's competitiveness, but we're not competing, right? You're my opponent, but you're not my enemy today. Typically, when you're looking across borders, there's some enemies on the other side, right? When two soccer teams are playing against each other, I mean, unless you're in England, they're your opponents, they're not your enemies. And the Olympics is supposed to represent the same thing, which is the entire world coming together to compete, see who's the best, but not who's the best, like fuck everybody else, but like let's you know let's celebrate talent, let's celebrate greatness wherever it might be. Okay, if it's a French winner, if it's a Japanese winner, let's celebrate that greatness because they won fair and square in front of the world. That is excellence. All right, having an Olympic gold medal means something. You go to the UFC, everybody's got UFC belts, double champion, all this stuff. You could have a black belt and whatever. If you were an Olympic champion wrestler, you're the fucking dude. There's nothing higher than that caliber. And now you're taking that away from so many people who actually respect their religion. Like, oh, what's the big deal? Da, da, da. Look, just because you're a pussy doesn't mean I have to be as well. If you don't care about nothing, and like, you can insult me, you can insult the way I look, you can insult my favorite food. I don't care. You insult my religion, now it's a problem. All right. So it's a a big slap in the face. And unless there's something done about it to the point where the Olympics makes it known to everyone. Like we did not condone this. We gave the creative director the thing, and like he knows creation, and we don't. And then they make like a whole thing about it. Then they can earn people coming back. But until then, bro, I'm not watching a single one of those events. I don't care about the luge. or whatever the hell they're doing out there, water polo, all that shit. I don't care, bro. Roy, what percent of the event capacity is sold? Are you talking about the Columbia event or are you talking about the FX Summit? The FX Summit, I would say we're about a third, maybe a bit more. But that's also keeping in mind the majority of people buy their tickets. Well, I mean, the Dubai folks, when I was out there, I talked to the crypto event I went to visit. They had over 15,000 people at the Coca-Cola arena. And they were, I would say like 90% of them were locals. They all said they bought their tickets same day and same week. So as long as we hit 75% capacity leading up to like a month free, this thing is getting packed out with more than 5,000. And it's looking likely. We got over 1,000-person event in Colombia alone, and that's in 4 weeks. And then we're doing this tour, this 8-country tour in Europe. Okay, so those alone might be even bigger than the summit, just with the amount of people coming. And so then we're going to have the summit in Dubai, become the largest trading conference in the world, make history, and yeah, put the trading space back on the right track. All right, that IML kind of took us off. It happened. Roy, what percent of the okay, still have a gap to fill, but there's still another gap to fill from last week. So gaps don't necessarily have to fill now. They could fill 3, 4 weeks from now. It could just retrace, and then in one candle, swipe down and clear all the gaps. More in the summer, kids are not in school. Okay, I get that. Because even then you're planning for holidays and back to school. I get you, this back to school shopping. That's included in the summer, ain't it? Why are you bullish on NAS on the higher time frame? Okay, Thab, I'm not even entertaining that one. Right? The fuck? Go to the higher time frames and let me know. What's the Columbia event? I think I missed something. Oh, you mean the country Columbia? The fuck else would I be talking about? Oh, you meant Columbia University. Oh. Yeah, no, we don't do that. Yeah, no, I don't do Ivy League schools. Trust the system, people. Oh, I got a meeting in 2 minutes. People, trust the system. All right. This thing is I'm gonna come back for the I told you so. All right, bear with me. I'm gonna finish this meeting. I'm gonna come back with the I told you so. Please use proper risk management. For God's sakes. None of this is financial advice. Do your own analysis. And then whatever you decide to do, just use proper risk. All right. Regardless of how confident I am about this trade. See you guys in a bit. Keep you posted. Anything we didn't cover? Mike already posting profits. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, 71 trades for the day, right? It's like, no, I'm fucking with you. I said 742 trades, right? This is where you're at? Does that make sense? All right. Got it. Great to see everybody on here. Stay in touch. We got a ton of announcements coming up, but Masterclass 2.0, the link is going to be available. Registrations, make sure to use promo code ChartAddicts for both access to the Masterclass and the FX Summit 2024 conference. Looking forward to see you there. Come hang out with me in Dubai. Come say what's up to the boy. And we can maybe, we'll do a private event for Chart Addicts members. Not maybe, we will. And one of them is going to be fun. The other one, be more educational. We'll do like a seminar kind of deal. Okay. Sound good?